But I was talking to someone online for a few months. This wasn't a very serious relationship. Like the lady I was talking to, she lives all the way in Africa, and you know, we just talked about life and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was just, I guess the simplest. It was more like a conversation, and then we would flirt sometimes. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't categorize it as like a full on long distance relationship, but it's like it's something that we did. It's something that from the feedback that I got, we both enjoyed it. And I'm gonna break it down like this. Like not everyone can be in a long distance relationship because it's more of a thought oriented thing. And the reason I'm talking about this right now for this video is with long distance relationships and the internet, there's so many possibilities. Like you could legit have a long distance relationship with someone for like 5 years and then also do a business and all these other things together. There's tons of things that you can do using the internet with someone online. Like you could play video games, like it's not meeting up, but in a form, right? Like you're meeting up in a form because you're in the video game and you're interacting with characters. And then you're also typing together and you're doing activities together. That's not what we did. For us, it was just video chatting and stuff like that. But the possibilities with having an online relationship are just as big as in person, if not more so. Because the reality is, online relationships can only work for people who talk about things. And the reality is, you have to be willing to talk about pretty much anything for it to actually work. And I'm going to give an example. This is not something that happened with the person that I was talking with. But let's say you're talking to multiple people at once. If you're not willing to talk to someone about that and you're not able to do that mutually, like, oh yeah, I talk to people, you talk to people, right? It's like if you're not willing to get that in depth with conversation, well, you can't be in an online relationship. Sorry. But there are limitations and things like that. Where I'm going to talk more about the situation I'm in. Right? It's like I have heart failure, and I told the person about that. I also have issues getting a job because of that, and I told the person about that as well. So, from our speaking, me and her, it was more like we would talk about creative things like art and music. We would talk about things that were aligned with what you would do normally with a person. And we're not done talking, right? Like, as of today, we still talk. But it's like, now she's in a relationship, you know what I mean? So, it's more like, I guess, if you wanted to have a relationship like this, you would have to find someone you could actually be a friend with, right? Like, it's not. It's like the reason I'm trying to communicate this is because online relationships are real. It's not something that you just make it up. But the reality of an online relationship is that it's entirely different. Like it's like a true friendship, basically, right? And to get to the end of what I'm trying to explain is in an online relationship, there's pretty much anything as a rule. Right? It's like you might not realize this, but it's pretty much anything as a rule. Right? It's like if you were to get into an online relationship with someone today, and they were like, "Oh, sometimes I have sex with other people. Are you okay with that?" It's like there is no "Are you okay with that?" It's more like, "Well, this is how it is." And if you're not okay with that, then I'll talk to another person. But you have to be that kind of person who the circumstance doesn't really matter. It's about me and you connecting. It's about me and you interacting with each other in this life. Right? And that's what I wanted to get at the most. That's what an online relationship is at its core. A real online relationship is, well, money doesn't matter. If you can't pay me, I'll still talk to you. I'll still come here and I'll talk to you because I like talking to you. I like who you are as a person. It's like if you get married, well then I'll be here to cheer you on, give you marriage advice, right? And then I'll go get a relationship as well, right? Like it's not something where telling someone all about your life and the things you do is frowned upon, right? In a real online relationship, you should get to a point where you're able to see that person have kids and show them your kids one day, or meet up, be in a relationship, and if that doesn't work out, well, you can still talk to each other online and show the other person your progress through life. And that's what I wanted to really get at with this video. So, honestly, I'm willing to talk to people in the comment section of this video specifically about online relationship stuff or my online relationship. But it's like the real issue people getting into online relationships is that too many people are expecting to be able to just you get in and then boom, you go meet this person. It's like that's not an online relationship. Too many people are like, oh, you have to be all about me. It's like, how are you gonna do that online? Realistically, how can you make sure someone's all about you online? The reality is that having an online relationship is like, well, it should be like meeting someone who you're agreeing to interact with and understand on both the physical level and the long distance level. Right? So everyone's not built for that. Some people, if you can't get her pregnant, you're gone next week. Right? Some people, if he's not trying to invite a friend over, well, this is just a game, right? There's all these nuances and there's these conditions to being in relationships and all these other things. And the reality of an online relationship is that you should be able to talk to that person about pretty much anything. And whether you guys meet up or not shouldn't hurt, make, or break the relationship. It's just in that point in time, you all couldn't meet up. Right? It's like how much should money be involved? It should be able to be not involved at all. Other than you paying to have the internet and the. So if you want a real online relationship, it's not gonna be easy to find that. It's like you need people who are actually open minded and not people who are saying they're open minded because they enjoy saying that. But I could talk more about these kinds of things and go more in depth in an ideal standpoint. But this is pretty much one online relationship I've had. With other people, it's been more like, we just talk about art and all these different types of things. So, like and subscribe if you want more stories similar to this one, and I guess I'm signing out on this video. Peace out.